Hey y'all, happy Mother's Day. Hang on, it sounds like I'm peeing. Turn the water off. Take two. Happy Mother's Day, you guys. I know that Mother's Day can feel like a lot of different ways because mothering is complex, and that includes having mothers, being mothers. But one thing I have been thinking a lot about is the idea of like really mothering to me equals creativity, like you've created something. And so whether you are loving a dog or a rabbit or chickens, or you've created a garden, or you cook, or you do art, or you have children, or you have a ministry, like I consider all of that to be mothering because mothering is creation. So yeah, congrats to all of you out there who are doing those things and all the complexities that come with that. And then any of you guys who are grieving, this has been a gnarly year, 2020, for a lot of people in mothering situations or those that have mothers or have lost mothers. And so just, I don't know, like I'm thinking of you. I know there's not enough to say about that, but I'm thinking of you and acknowledging that today is not all joy and rainbows for everyone out there, and you're seen. So with that being said, I did want to share some of the things that I mother here, including my plants. And so I just wanted to take you guys on a quick little tour of some things that have been changing and evolving in the garden, and just wanted to bring you with me. So let's get going. My blessed children have gifted me with both taking a nap at the same time, which has happened maybe twice in the existence of Zoe, which has been almost 8 months. So today they're doing that right now. So hopefully I'll squeeze everything in on time. One thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is, and I actually had like some shame about this. I'm like, man, I'm not a real gardener because I don't have drip irrigation or I'm wasting water. But really what we have chosen to do, and this has been a choice intentionally, is to create the rain barrels that I've shown you before on my channel. My husband created those out of just storage barrels. I think one had fruit punch and the water smelled divine for a little while, and the other one had soy sauce, not so divine. But we have rain catching systems, and so they are full right now because we've had quite a bit of rain. Even though we're in a drought, I believe, but we have had quite a bit of rain recently, some storms. So what we do is we actually hand water. So we fill up these watering cans with the rainwater from our jugs and water our garden. And we do that like not only just to save on costs, but also like it's a free resource, and so like why not use it? And it actually is super beneficial for the plants to water them with rainwater. So yeah, why not? But it does take an extra amount of time, and so that is my meditation. My therapy today is going to be watering the plants, kind of going through the garden with you guys, using my rainwater. One thing that is important whenever you are using like a watering can is it can be really easy to, because you don't want to keep filling it up over and over and over, it can be easy to feel like you watered things but not water deeply enough. And what that does, just like based on what I've been taught, and so correct me if I'm wrong, but is it creates more shallow roots for your plants. So the plants just stay up near the surface where they can get the water. But when you water deeply and really soak the earth with multiple cans, what happens is the roots grow down further because there's more water, access to water, and so the plants are stronger and more vital and healthy. And I definitely, that was a game changer for me this gardening season, in trying to just make sure that I really took the time to water deeply. And that's why a lot of people do like drip irrigation or things like that, is because this is a time consumer, and people have way bigger gardens than we do, and it's just not realistic. And I get that, like if you want to get a really deep water. So if you're gonna do what we do, just make sure that you spend the time and energy treating it like a meditation, a little spiritual practice, patiently making sure you water deeply. On the bear. Come on, garden pup. Show off your new haircut. Another thing I wanted to point out is what I'm doing right now is not ideal. Like watering when the sun is pretty intense. What can happen is the water, when it catches the leaves, it can reflect the sun and kind of like scald your plants. Plus it evaporates a lot quicker. So it's best to water like in the morning. Even watering at night, I've heard, is not like ideal because they just sit kind of wet overnight. So if you can water in the morning, that's the best. But hey, we're working with what we got, and my Mother's Day gift is 2 napping kids, so I'm out here now. So this is the view from our back patio. This is just phase 1, y'all. Like, man, we set all this up within the past year, and I'm really proud of like all that we've done, but all I can see is like more space for more plants. It's like an addiction. And can I just get a hallelujah for removing the chickens away from a back patio? They were all, sorry y'all, shaky cam. They were all up in here, so when you walked out, it was like, the chickens were right there. So we moved them back into another little paddock so they can fertilize the grass and eat all the weeds. And they're much happier back there behind my tomato alley right there. And it just opened up the space so much. So I love our little yard. I'm filling up the water cans, and I don't know if you can hear me or not over the roar of the water, but really what is starting to happen at the garden now is we're transitioning into like this abundance. So before, it's like you see all these little bitty plants and they're slow starting and just kind of getting there, toddling along. And what's starting to happen now is I can feel the momentum in the ground as things are taking off, like pollinator garden taking off. I have blackberries going, the onions are bulbing. And this really, for me being a doer, and I like seeing the fruits of my labor with outcomes, like this really encourages me. And because of that, I have been out here like guerrilla gardening, y'all. Like just Reed will go on shift and I'm just like sneaking seeds outside, like planting them everywhere. Not that he really cares, but I just feel like I'm a little bit overwhelming. There's sunflowers coming up like out the yin yang around here. So I just feel really excited about where the garden is headed, and I just keep throwing more and more seeds out, trying to keep them well watered and cultivated, so that, yeah, we just have this like fullness, this lushness, this growing season, and it's happening. So today we will start over here in the cut flower garden. Oh, but check it out, we moved that big compost pile that I created. It was just like a pile of stuff, and we found 2 little toads living in there. They're probably a happy little couple, but we put them in the garden, don't worry. All right, I want to show you guys this because like this is my finger. Like look at how thick the stem is on this dahlia. This is a big dahlia tuber. I've actually never grown dahlia flowers. Look them up if you don't know what they are. They're like gorgeous. But I just stuck the biggest tuber in this whiskey barrel, and it's like a hoss. I don't know how to do it justice. Like it's a thick stem. But I went ahead this week and added in some stakes. They say to go ahead and stake your dahlias early because you don't really want to hit like one of the tubers when you, oh, I just saw my first monarch. That's cool. You don't want to hit one of the tubers when you stick it in once they're like well established. So go ahead and put your stakes in early with the assumption that you're going to need to stake them so they don't fall over. Mammoth Russian sunflowers are coming in, starting to get some good growth on those. I actually gave my mom the first one of these today. These are actually bachelor buttons. In a previous video I said they were straw flower, and I lied to you. I'm so sorry. But they're a brilliant blue flower. And I'll see if I can find a picture of the bouquet that Lily and I made for her today. But those are bachelor buttons. I have a couple of ranunculus flowers still coming in. They're just so cute and bundled. I actually moved our strawberries from a raised bed. They just weren't taking off like I was hoping, and that's like precious space. I moved them to the cut flower garden for ground cover, and guys, they have started exploding. And maybe it's like the soil and the conditions, or maybe it's because my toddler doesn't know I moved them yet. pretty on brand. So the kids slept for quite a while, and I bought myself a bath bomb from Lush. So I have the water heated up. I'm like soaking. I'm about to put my bath bomb in because it's a special occasion, and homegirl wakes up. It's like they have this spidey sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom's relaxed. Let's wake up and like fix that real quick. So anyways, I have on my coffee and sunshine garage sale find, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of things before we head in for the night. So over here in the side bed, my hydrangeas have started coming in, and I'm feeling pretty jazzed about that. They started off as like this pink color, and I added soil acidifier for them to come out blue. Look at these guys. They're just kind of like this beautiful tie-dye. Now this plant has popped, but I'm still waiting on these to bloom. And then this one is just starting to form those kind of mop heads. So I have 3 in total for my cottage garden, and yeah, just loving that. Now our peony bush has gone wild. It's also in the cottage garden right next to my hydrangeas. Look how massive that is. The deal with these is that they don't last very long. Like, the blooms come in, it grows super fast. Like, within a matter of weeks, it's like quadrupled in size, if not more than that. And then they pop and they fade so quickly, but they smell incredible. And there's still some blessed little blooms on here. So I've actually been clipping those off and putting them in a vase so that we can just enjoy them a little bit longer. So I might do that with the rest of these little blooms. Just put them inside so we can be around them before they fade. But that's always something to look forward to each year, is the peonies. I don't know, that might be a Texas thing. Peonies, whatever, y'all. They're pretty pink flowers. Okay, coming over here to Tomato Alley. There's been a lot of new growth. Some of these are so big now that the wind is actually blowing them over. So I've had to stabilize a couple of them. Let me show you some of the tomatoes coming in. Look at those beauts. And a couple of them have really big like tomato clusters. Like this one down here. I think this is actually called a Prudence Purple. Don't quote me on that. We'll see what pops up. But yeah, big clusters of tomatoes, which makes me happy. Now, sitting in the stroller, I'm going to rotate over here. My rabbit snapped one of my, he just came up and bit it and like totally snapped the stem of this tomato plant that has this beautiful, gorgeous zebra tomato on it. And I duct taped it. I was sitting like actually like right there when he did it, and duct taped it, and it hasn't wilted or anything. So I'm praying that maybe that'll actually work. Saw that little hack from Park Rose Permaculture. I think she did that with a tree. She grafted with duct tape and it worked. And this bad boy came out today. This is a triple crop tomato, and it's been growing really great. It hasn't, I don't think, yeah, it's flowered. You can see right there. But it was like totally on the ground today. Like part of it was uprooted because of the wind. So I added in this little wooden stake. I always save those from the plant nursery, and that seems to be working nicely. I've been eager beaver to show you guys this black and blue salvia. I think everyone should grow it because it's glorious. So it's just now starting to come in, but do you see that color? I mean, and the upper ones tend to be kind of like a lighter blue. They get darker as they go down, but yeah, look at that. I just love it, and it smells like berries. It's such a sweet smelling plant, which is why the pollinators just love it. Right next to that, I have my Arapaho blackberries, and they're actually starting to set fruit. If you can see that. These actually are starting to turn color, a darker shade. Here's a beautiful one. That makes me happy. And for some reason, this was the same variety, but these flowers are more pink. The ones on that other plant that are setting fruit were white. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, they're doing well. This is actually, oh, you want holds? Okay, come here. This is a loofah gourd that has just started to take off, and I'm gonna trellis it. sad garden bug up this garden fence panel. But look, I just think these tendrils are amazing. Look at that. Stage 5 clinger right there. So I have loofah growing. I have felt really unsatisfied with the state of my beans. They're just not growing. So I went ahead and right next to it planted a fresh row of beans. They germinate really quickly. But I was really looking forward to a good bean crop this year. Yeah, my eyes. And so I went ahead and filled in the spaces, where crops had died or got eaten by bugs. So you'll see, like, here's some cucumbers starting to come up. That one has been established. So I'm really this year experimenting with transplanting things and then direct seeding, meaning just like putting the seed in the ground. Like this is a direct sowed seed and this is a transplant. Is it worth growing them to transplant? I don't know. Some crops, yes. I will say my beans and cucumbers, I'm not so sure. Around the bend, we have this glorious tomatillo, and it is taking off. Thank you for the background music, Lily. All these beautiful little yellow flowers. So this is that purple demilpa tomatillo. Sugar snap peas growing. I need to trellis them a little bit better. The wind is blowing them. I picked a few off yesterday, but I planted some more seeds before it gets too hot to see if I can cover this little teepee. Alright, gotta brag on my onions real quick. Look how gorgeous those are. They're bulbing. So you stop fertilizing onions when they're bulbing. I have fertilized these, so I have several rows of them. I stopped fertilizing them when they started bulbing, but I did fertilize them every about 2 to 3 weeks while they were growing. And you know onions are done, apparently, when they start to turn yellow and the onion greens fall over, like at a 90-degree angle. So I'm waiting for that to happen. Right now they're still pretty green and upright. To all our viewers out there, I appreciate your patience. I always got toddler dialogue in the background. But hey, this is real life, right? Blow him a kiss, darling. To be honest, I have never known the phrase analysis paralysis. That is not my life. I'm all about, like, if you want it, we're gonna make it work. And sometimes that gets me in trouble and I waste money or resources because I just go for things. It's not always like logical or thought out, but hey, having a 8-month-old and a 2-year-old, why not try and grow like a ton of food in our backyard? I mean, really, don't overthink it. Just start somewhere. Tomatoes are a great place to start. Just saying. Everyone needs more color in their life. Woo, this is an Alaskan nasturtium and it's starting to trellis up. And I need to deadhead some of these flowers that are kind of puny. Bugs loves to eat them, but it's just taken off. I had some extra sweet potato slips on my kitchen windowsill and I put them in these grow bags. Ooh, I need to add some more soil to fill them up, but hopefully this grow bag, I got it for potatoes, will end up just filling up. And then what you do is you pull this, like so, and your potatoes supposedly fall out. I got these on Amazon. I've grown quite a few things in them. They've been heavy duty. I think I did like beans and cucumbers last year. So this will be my first year doing potatoes, but yeah, come on, little sweet potatoes. Okay, I wanted to show you. They've kind of closed up for the evening. But these are my potato plants, and look at those gorgeous flowers. So you... Okay, give me the bubbles. So I'm gonna... Oh my goodness. You know potatoes are done when all the foliage dies. So not quite there yet. Okay, last thing before the sun is gone. This was given to me by Many Acres Farm. It's a variegated nasturtium. And I love these leaves. That looks like tie-dye. So thank you, Many Acres. It's coming in slowly but surely. I got a late start on them. All right, this is very just very fitting for a Mother's Day, right? Coffee, sunshine, and a screeching toddler.
On paper ball.
We'll play bubbles. May you find the bounty in your own life and all the beauty that it holds. And we'll see you guys soon.